Center for Spiritual Living, Leesburg. Our theme for this year is Living Everyday Wonder. And our focus for the month of February is Inner Life. Today's talk, I love this. Listen to this title, Pause and Find the Cause. And it will be given by our wonderful spiritual director, Charlene Banks. We're so glad that you joined us here today. Take a moment, breathe in deeply, relax as we officially begin our service. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
Waiting for me, waiting for me in the quiet and stillness, waiting for me. Holding a high, watch ever at ease. Love will always be waiting for me. When I get discouraged or distracted by the stories life keeps telling me, when I get so worried, all gets blurry and I forget who I am, love is waiting, waiting for me, waiting for me in the quiet and stillness, waiting for me. Holding a high watch ever at ease, love will always be waiting for me. Even on the days when all feels lost, there at the crossroads, love is beckoning. If I take a moment to decide, let my heart guide, I find you there, waiting.
was beautiful. And now it's time to move into our time of meditation. I picked a special one today. We have Valentine's Day tomorrow, and it's a week of love, but I just felt the need for myself, and maybe you're feeling the same way. We just need a little loving kindness to spread across the world. So this is the loving kindness meditation. Close your eyes and inhale deeply. Relax your mind and your body as you begin to focus solely on your breath. Relax your shoulders. Let go of any tension that you might be carrying in your body. Just focus on the rhythmic rise and fall of your breath as you inhale and as you exhale fully. As you draw in your next breath, just allow your body, your whole being to be filled with peace and calm and ease. And as you exhale on your next breath, try to release any tension that's in your body, any bit of anxiety or anxiousness. That's a future that doesn't exist here in this now. Let yourself just feel centered and balanced, present in this moment. And now we're going to focus on giving yourself some loving kindness. Please repeat after me. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. Let's do that one more time. Doesn't it feel so good? Repeat after me. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. Feels so good just to give yourself some loving kindness. Now, I want you to think of someone else. There's someone that you know of, someone in your life, and that person needs some loving kindness today. So take that image of that person in your mind, maybe just hold them in your heart while we give them some loving kindness. Repeat after me. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. Now, here comes the challenge. Think of someone in your life with whom you are not at peace. Think of someone in your life who maybe triggers you. And let's send that person, maybe that group of people, a blessing of love and health and peace and happiness. Let's wish them nothing but the best. Again, repeat after me. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. Now, let's just take our beautiful, beautiful world. Every single person, every animal, every creature, every creation. Maybe again, there's a group in particular that you know needs some love right now. Let's just hold them in our hearts and acknowledge our oneness with them. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May everyone be peaceful and at ease. May everyone be happy. One last one. May everyone be happy and know that they are blessed and loved. Take a deep breath in and just relax in this moment of peace and health and loving kindness. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Maybe stretch a little, shake your body, wiggle your toes, come back to the now. And I want to invite you as you listen to our message today, if you have any prayer concerns or any celebrations, please feel free to add them to the chat or in the comment section so that we can include them later when we do our community prayer. It's called Spiritual Mind Treatment, and it's a form of affirmative prayer. And we would love to include your joys, your celebrations, and any concerns that you have in our prayer at the end of our service. Now it's time for Charlene.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Wow, that was so amazing, Leah. Whew. Breathing in and breathing out, peace and love. So, welcome to February. Love, love, love. Thank you, Tamara, for that loving kindness meditation. I always need that more than I think I need it. You know, who can't use a little more love in their lives? So, I'm just trying to get back in here because Leah took me way out there. So, I'm back. I'm coming. Welcome, welcome. So, this title is what? Pause and find the cause. It reminds me of a couple of weeks ago when Audra gave her talk, which was question everything. And even though she was talking more from, let's just have a lot of good questions, I couldn't help but think of a 2-year-old who just learned the word why, maybe 3, 4. They look at something and ask why. And then you give them an answer. And then they ask again, but why is that? And they keep going, but why, but why, but why? And when I look at this title, Pause and Find the Cause, I think about asking myself, why? Now, usually when we talk about the cause, we're not really concerned with the cause of the effects around us, unless these effects are not doing a good job. Like, unless the effects are causing problems, we typically don't inquire. Why? Why did that happen? Am I right? So, you win a lottery, you're not like, but why? You're like, thank you, going to the bank to cash the check. At least that would be me. But when things go wrong, and they always do, you ask yourself, I know I ask myself, what's the cause of that? And then as a 2-year-old might ask, well, what's the cause of that? And what's the cause of that before that? And you get all the way back to something. Typically, it's a belief that has been planted in us early in life. Some belief, when I do my little worksheet on why, it always comes down to, oh, because I think I'm not good enough. Like, I could just, in the moment of going through something that has gone wrong, so to speak, I could pretty much just jump all the whys and go straight to, so what about me that feels like I'm not good enough might have contributed to this situation? This is really helpful to think about that, because we don't believe that we are victims of our circumstance. We don't believe that we're just running around in a universe that is predetermined. And I hope life has good stuff planned for me. I'm just going to show up, and how about I'm just going to stay asleep? I'm just going to stay in my house. And if life wants me to do something, it'll send the FedEx guy with a package. Like, that's not how it works. We don't believe that. We know that there are 4 kingdoms of awareness, where the first one is thinking everything happens to me and I have no agency. And so we feel victim. You hear a lot of the words people use is, it's excuses, although they'll call it reasons. Those are excuses. Well,
what happened was, so that thing over there caused me to do this. That thing out there caused me to do this. I'm in a bad mood, but it's not my fault. Did you watch the news? Um, oh, well, life kind of sucks, but once I get the new car, I'm going to be all right. Life is terrible, but once I could keep going. You know what I'm talking about. We each have felt we had felt that other things are the cause for our unhappiness. But I have to tell you, if that's a lot of your day, like I know that maybe that's 10% of my day right now. On a good day, it's only 10% of how I think inside my brain. But if it were flipped so that 90% of what I'm thinking, I feel like I'm a victim, well, how much fun am I to be around? I'm thinking not fun at all because I'm probably always in a bad mood. And I probably look like I have you guys remember Charlie Brown, the cartoons? There was that one kid with the like cloud scribbled over his head, and everywhere he went, he had like this cloud, just that person. I don't want to be that person. If I feel like 90% of what happens to me is not my fault and I'm just a victim, that's terrible. And we know better because in this teaching, if you've had at least the intro course to the foundational teachings, then we know that this is true. So let's see how I can get this to show. So in the study of science of mind, we try to uncover our hidden beliefs. Why? So that we can consciously choose to change them in the areas of our life that are not going that well, right? Everyone who graduated or who finished your course and Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, you know this to be true, that we pretty much say, all right, let's look around us. Everything that is in our lives is here because we are at cause. We are at cause. I know that's hard to take. If you've not been in any of those classes, you might immediately say, hold up, what you talking about? So those people in the Holocaust camps, anybody, right? And they couldn't have looked around them and said, oh gosh, the fact that I'm in this camp, I'm at cause. So I must have created this for myself. That's just not spiritually appropriate. But I tell you, if you've ever read the book by Viktor Frankl, who he was encamped for a long time, what he wrote, he said, you may not have any control over your circumstances, and they can take away everything from you, including your freedom, but they'll never take away your ability to choose your thoughts about it. And I was like, oh my God, because I probably would have been, self-despair all the way down the hole. But he wrote this book. I'll remember the book in a minute. I have it up on another slide. But he wrote his book and he's like, listen, I saw in the camps a handful of people going around and sharing what little bit that were rationed to them, sharing it with other people. The humanity could not be taken away, even though their bodies were imprisoned. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about our response to circumstances. And if we can't do anything else, we can choose some different thoughts because, as you know, what you think about, you bring about. And when we're caught in the despair spiral, then we tend to attract more despairing things. And it's hard to come out of that without any help, which is why you have a spiritual community, spiritual practices, people can pray for you, and so forth. And we've all been there. I've been known to give myself about 10 minutes to just pity party, just go in. And then I'm like, okay, we're good. What are we going to do about this situation? I mean, we're human after all. But we don't want to create a mental atmosphere of despair because it gathers more like it. And then we're going down that spiral. A lot of times, if we don't have this teaching, that spiral is still someone else's fault. And we can blame a lot of things. I remember one time, oh gosh, the first clue that I have that I'm not connected to my inner self, my inner higher self. The first clue is I might lose my keys or my phone. And and usually it's right before I have to leave to go somewhere. Now, one might say, well, what you should do then is hurry up and run all around and find it and go crazy and make the people around you crazy as you throw all the things around looking for your phone, your purse, or your keys. But what you know what that gets me is more of disarray. Then if I do find them, I get in my car. Now I'm speeding because I'm late and I'm running a few lights or whatever. It's just, and then people are cutting you off. I can tell the moment I lose something that I'm not supposed to have lost, or it's right where I thought it was. I'm like, uh-oh, let me chill for a minute. So I have to pause and go within and just remember, sit still and just get that feeling back, that connected feeling of equanimity, of I am the center of my universe. I am guided by something bigger than me. I am whole, perfect, and complete. I am walking in the love of the divine. And then when I get up, and that could take a minute, 5 minutes, but it's the best spent few minutes that I'll ever have, because I stopped the spiral, stopped it cold, and I'm back at cause with my thoughts, my trained thoughts, not my reactions and fear and knee jerk. I'm back at cause with my highest intention for me. That's back in control. So I know that this is absolutely demonstrable by all of us, and that's just one little glimpse into how I've used it in my life. Whenever I feel it's about to get out of control, just take a second. Exactly a year and a half ago, I think I was saddled with the wrong project manager, and I had to take a lot of seconds. I was like, oh, good Lord, if he triggers me one more time. And then, a lot of that, I was sharing about it in other talks. And don't you know, I got an email the other day that was like, so that guy's not with us anymore. We've got the other person who we were fine with before they brought him in. And I was like, look at that. And it's always, I find something that when the answer to prayer comes, and the prayer wasn't to get rid of the guy, but it was to heal the relationship that I had with him. When the healing comes, it's always after I forgot all about it. Isn't that funny? Somehow just setting that intention and just letting it go, it does what it's going to do. Things work out for the highest good if we set our intention on it. Hold the high watch. Don't let circumstances drag us back down. Just set that intention. Hold the high watch. Know that it's coming. It's in the works, even if I can't see it. And then celebrating when it does show up. But isn't the hardest part the waiting part? Let's say that you're in a relationship, and I'm using air quotes because all of spirituality is relationship, isn't it? I heard in the Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class, one of the students said, relationships, yes, and I'm starting with the one with myself. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so proud. This is great. Of course, everything spiritual is relationship. And it's always the one with yourself that comes first. And then it's all the other relationships in our lives, whether it's your project manager, your mom, your dad, your kids, the dog, relationships, even relationships with news stories and situations that whatever aisle that you're standing on, whatever side of the aisle that you're on, the way we view our political system is a relationship too, right? And so as we look at how we relate to the world, we know we're experiencing our inner selves. We're not ever experiencing that other thing. We're experiencing our own thoughts and feelings about that other thing. Isn't that cool? Unless it's terrible, in which case now you're like, oh God, I'm experiencing my own thoughts and feelings about it. And then I'm blaming it on that thing. When it's me that is choosing those thoughts and those feelings that turn around and hurt me. I don't know though. This teaching, it's a little nuanced because I've seen some people use it. I'm just going to say, yeah, how do I say? All right, I'm just going to say it out loud on purpose. Just go with me. There are some people that want to remain messy. Is that a term? That's not a term, is it? They want to remain out of integrity. And they learned this teaching in this class, or these classes and these teachings, and they go, wait a minute. So if it's true that I never experience anybody, I'm only experiencing my feelings about that person, then they're not experiencing me, they're experiencing their feelings about me. So if she got her feelings hurt, that's her fault. Boom. You just spiritually bypassed the whole thing. If you ever tell someone using these teachings, well, you're not really experiencing me, right? You're experiencing your thoughts about me, so it's your fault. Change them, change your thinking, change your life. Ha! Drop the mic. No, stop it. That's not good. And yes, I've seen that before. So what we want to do is first get within, go within, pause, look at your feelings. What are they? I'm feeling angst. Why? Well, because just things aren't going to go right. I feel like I'm thinking of an example doesn't apply to anybody in the room. So I'll think of something really good. All right, I've got one. So a person's feeling horrible because they want to be healthy and fit, but they don't want to go to the gym until they're healthy and fit. I mean, this is typical, right? You want to go to the gym in your cute outfit. You don't want to go to the gym fat because everybody else is thin, for example, or fit. Let's not say thin, let's say fit. But so that first thought that, well, I can't do something because, and then you add too fat, too thin, too old, too young, not black, too black, white, not white enough. I don't know, pick a thing. That is where we look at it and we pause and we say, well, what's the cause? And then we go in and say, well, I know usually that those that are this other type do better in that scenario. Really? Are you sure? Can you think of no examples where someone else hasn't that doesn't have this? Are there no other fat people in the gym? Not zero fat people. Well, there's probably one or two. Okay, let's start there. Even if you can't find anybody else like you, can you be the breaking ground? Can you be the person who broke ground on this new thing? So what I want to say is, whenever we have that feeling, and mine is usually, I'm not good enough, I have to go in and ask myself, is that true? Is that the absolute truth? Now, let's talk about what truth is. So in the creative process, we're talking about creating your life, right? That every thought, every word, every belief that you have creates your life. So the creative process starts with principle and it ends up with form. It starts with the invisible and it ends up with the visible. So you know how thoughts are invisible? But if you hold them long enough, there it is. Oh my gosh, how did that get there? Well, you've been dwelling on it for years, ma'am. That's the thing. There's the outcome. So if that's true, if we are creative beings, just like the divine, if you believe what I know to be true is that the divine energy through the Big Bang created all that is. And it's based in principle, the principles, the highest principles that we can muster. You know that a universe divided against itself will not stand. So the highest things are the core, the highest truths. That means love always conquers all. In the end, it always does. It's the highest frequency, the highest energy of the energies, love. There's also beauty, and there's order, and there's justice, and there's abundance. All these principles and many more have shown themselves to be true on a universal level. And so if those principles are true, those principles are creating every day, every single day. That's how we get here. That's how we stay here. That's how the arc, the long arc, bends toward justice. and love and beauty. These are the things we hold dear. Anytime you feel joy, you are reaching in the highest of all of our possibilities. So we want to keep our minds and our mental eye there, because from there we create in our own lives. And this is just me telling you the creative process, how things get to be the way they are. But it's also me telling you how we can change. If we desire, we can change our lives by adding, changing, removing the cause that was, creating negative situation, and changing it with a cause that creates a positive situation. And so instead of reacting, someone says something to me and I say something right back. What if someone says something to me and I pause for a second, knowing that every word that escapes my lips is going to create for me? Then I'm going to watch what I say. So if someone says something mean to me and I go, maybe it's nothing. Maybe I say nothing. Or maybe I say something like, okay. That usually is more painful to the person who said something than any retort that I could have come up with, any witty retort. So I love the fact that that pause is the one that shifts me from living a life of just reactions and reactivity, which could be chaotic, to creating a life for myself that's on purpose and in line with a divine idea of myself. And I do that, and I hope that you do this too, always going within, finding what is the divine idea for me. And then when we say what we say, we're intentionally creating and not just accidentally responding, or, not reacting accidentally to something. So that is the life of the spiritual path, right? Beyond the physical and the spirit and anything you could see, there's something else going on, something invisible that is back of all of it. And so that is what we do. We want to express ourselves at all times, living from the inside out, not allowing what it looks like from the outside to change who we are. Because how much fun are we going to be to live with if we allow every fear or doubt or worry to drive the bus? It's not going to be fun at all. So I invite you to just allow your highest hopes and highest dreams and highest ideas for yourself and for humanity and for every relationship in your life, to just hold it in the high vibration of love, like Tamara took us through, and just repeating as much as you can that loving kindness meditation. When that person cuts you off on the freeway, may you be well, may you be blessed, may you be loved. And that will change our entire experience for the better. Peace and blessings. Let us go within. I know that right here and right now, I am one with the divine, the presence that created all of this and more. The presence that is infinitely potential, the presence upon which I pull for my connection to all that is. This presence, known as spirit, life, love, Yeshua, Jehovah, Muhammad, God, Goddess, this indwelling presence is one with all that is. I am one with this indwelling presence, and so is everyone. This divine spark of life itself lives and moves and has its beingness as us, as all of the things around us. And it is also the law that when we think our thoughts into it, it always says yes. It always says yes, giving back to us exactly what we thought into it, what we spoke into it. So I speak my word now that all of our attention is on our highest and best, personally and as a group, that we know that we are in tune with our highest possibilities, the best in each of us. We love one another fearlessly, which ignites something within each other that allows us to step into that vision for ourselves. It is love that powers that engine. And so as we move and evolve and just show up in our communities, I know that we bring that divine light, that radiant love, that high idea of peace, power, joy, beauty, abundance. All of that is present, and we are changed because we are experiencing that reciprocal environment where we love and we are loved, and we share that, and it comes back tenfold. It is an amazing experience to choose to evolve to our higher next level. So I speak my word for peace on this entire planet, that peace is knowing itself right now. It is revealing itself right now. And as we hold the high watch, all things come to light. All things shall be revealed. Slowly, surely, and on its way, the divine path is the path of righteousness, and anything unlike it shall fall away. If we just simply hold the high watch and allow ourselves to keep our mind stayed on this power and this presence, it will reveal itself in our lives as well. And so I'm so grateful to know that this is the truth. I'm so excited to be able to watch it unfold and just multiply among us. So I give thanks and I let it go, I let it be, and so it is, and so I am. Ashe. And now a song from Leah.
When I think of pausing to recognize the cause, I think about as above, so below. Where I place my focus is where I will place my hand.
Hold up, let me do this right.
And that will decide what
Better?
outpictures in my life. And that reminds me of this song that I learned growing up in the Baptist church. When you become familiar, please sing with me. Paul and Silas bound in jail, had no money for to make their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. The only thing that we did wrong was staying in the wilderness too long. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. The only thing that we did right was when we began to move towards the light. I'm keeping my eyes on the prize, holding on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, and keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. I got my hands on freedom's plow. I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. I'm keeping my hands on the plow. I'm holding on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, and keep your hands on the plow. Hold on. Keep your hands on the plow. Hold on. Keep your your eyes on the prize. Hold on.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Charlene. And oh my goodness, I think that last song is going to be staying with me all day long. Thank you so much. Now it's time to bless our donations that are shared with our center today. At CSL Leesburg, you heard, and as we open our service, that we believe in the law of circulation. So we are a tithing community. We know that as we give, so shall we receive. And we know that the donations that are shared with our center bless everyone abundantly, those who give and those who receive. So your donations help our center, our home organization, as well as organizations that support our vision to create a world that works for everyone. Please look at the screen. There's so many ways for you to give. And just like you're seeing right now on the screen, you can always go to our website and you can click on the donate button. We thank you so much for your support. Now, no matter how you're giving, just take that either physically or mentally, like I'm going to do, and place it over your heart. And join me as we say our blessings of our gifts. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. Always makes me feel so good to say that. All right, let's go to our announcements for this week. So we have our Leadership Council meeting today at 1 o'clock. So that is for our Leadership Council members. On the agenda, here's what we're talking about, just to give you a little insight. We're going to discuss the management of our volunteer calendar. Folks, there's so many ways that you can volunteer. We always talk about time, talent, and treasure. So in addition to your donations, maybe you can give some of your time, maybe you can give some of your talent, and we're going to be exploring different ways to manage our volunteers and talk about some of the great, exciting subcommittees that we're going to have and launch this year. We're also looking at our bylaws. We've been looking at them very carefully, and we're going to be making a couple of changes to them. And one thing is exploring our term limits. How long will people serve? And just making a little tweaking, a little adjustments with that. So next Sunday after service, with all these exciting things going on today at our Leadership Council meeting, we're going to have a special membership meeting. And this is open to anyone who is a membership at CSL Leesburg. We're going to vote to accept the new bylaws, the changes that we draft today. And we're also going to accept any invitations or any interest that people have in joining our board, our Leadership Council. We have 3 open positions, and if anybody's interested, we're going to talk about that and accept our new members. And that'll be happening next Sunday after our service. So mark your calendars and plan to join us if you are a member. All right, so what else is going on this week? Well, of course, on Tuesday mornings, we have our dream study with Charlene. It's so exciting to get together and share your dreams and explore them and get some help interpreting them, because we're always getting messages, even when we're sleeping. It doesn't stop. So if you're able, please come back to the site and join us on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. with Charlene and friends. And then on Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, we dive deeper. At the end of our service, we ask you to share any pearls. And pearls are whatever resonated with you through the message or through the music or the meditation. What are you carrying? What's really a jewel? What is staying with you? And on Wednesday nights, we get together and we talk about how are we taking the message from today and putting that into our daily practice. What has shown up for you? What has inspired you? And folks, whenever I go and join on Wednesday night, I always leave with more knowledge. I get insight on something. I learn about another book. I learn about a movie. I learn about a TV show. I learn about a quote. I learn something that people are doing to take what they're getting on Sunday and taking it just a little bit deeper. So consider joining us on Wednesday night. All right, folks, I'm looking at that big old heart and I'm thinking back to our meditation of loving kindness. I'm thinking about Valentine's Day. Let's just take our hands and put them over our hearts And join me, turn on your mics, you know, I love to hear this, and say, I am love.
I am love.
I love.
Thank you so much. Now, point at somebody. It might be somebody in the room with you. It might just be the screen. It might be pointing out the window at your neighbor. Just point at someone and tell them, you are love.
You
are love.
And now put your hands up in the air and let's just spread love and kindness to everyone. It's all love.
It's all love.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Valentine's Day. Hold that love in your heart and spread it all around to everyone you meet. If you can, stay with us. We're going to share our pearls. And if you have to leave us today, just know that you go